Welcome back to Sonic Frontiers on Game Night. I'm your host, Tanner, and spectating for the moment is Zeke. Ezra went back to his apartment. His dad/husband senses were tingling, and so since last time, we just got to this island, and while the objective is telling me to go find my friends, I kind of want I'm gonna wait for Ezra to move on with the story, because I want to explore, because it's just a blank map right now. So I gotta find some checkpoints, or not checkpoints. These it's been a while since I've played this game. It's wow, I forgot what they're even called.
Some Dreamcast controllers.
Yes. So we could have four of us play Sonic Shuffle.
Nice.
For late game night.
Nice.
Because that game looks and plays out bad.
Really?
Yeah. Ah, my rings. And I still I kind of forgotten like how to play this game. So.
Gosh, it plays good.
Oh yeah, this game does.
So my nephew on Barbara's side of the family, he got this for the Switch. It looked like it was pretty smooth.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't this smooth,
Well,
but it wasn't like clippy.
The rings.
Get some
You're thinking of Mario.
Get some rings.
And when you did your jump over, there's a spike.
Spike. Okay, all right.
And another spike.
Damn it. Okay.
Got all the
Oh,
spikes.
look, I got some more rings anyway.
Heck yeah.
Oh, can I? Oh, no. Damn. Whoop, where am I going? I'm probably going back to where I started.
You're in a totally different spot now.
Okay, well, now that Ezra's here, I might as well go find my friends, because that was the whole thing. Because we're on this unknown set of islands, and we got separated by our friends.
Well, this island kind of sucks, I like to say, but
Oh, this is like a vacation island. Oh, you want to play some Tetris?
I would love to play some Tetris.
Except Tetris sucks at playing Tetris.
Yeah, dude, I might.
Actually, come to think of it, I actually do have the Game Boy Color game Tetris.
Yo.
And now that I've got the analog pocket,
We got to do that.
yeah.
Because I had the Game Boy. That was one of the first games we ever had for the Game Boy. We had Tetris, Link's Awakening Deluxe, the 2 Pokemon games.
Ooh, let's see.
That was it, right?
Purple is next.
Then we just kind of grew from there. I think those were the first games we ever had on our Game Boy Colors.
Would you say Tetris would go on game night or late game night?
Yeah, that's a late game night thing.
All right.
Especially for Ezra.
Yeah. I tend to get frustrated.
Extremely.
Oh yeah. There's
Oh, so is that like a map reveal?
Yes. And once you unlock
a
all,
fraction.
well, yeah, but once
You
you
gotta unlock all of them.
yeah, and once you do, then you unlock fast travel for the cyberspace levels you can go to.
Oh.
That's nice.
Well, you don't necessarily have to go into
No,
the
but-
cyberspace levels if you want to fast travel.
There were
well,
other,
I mean to come back later, but I mean, if there's like one side of the island that you want to get to right away, you can just do that, and then purple coins, so I can fish and chill with Big.
There was a. Let's see. I'm trying to remember what our original Game Boy games were. Like Game Boy Color. I mean, like I said, there were those 4 that I mentioned.
Pokemon Red and Blue,
Well, yeah, we had those.
Mulan.
Yeah, we had Mulan.
I also have Mulan as well. I did get that.
Yo, Mulan was ragey, dude. You could like never. beat the first
I
level.
remember. I actually played it on the analog pocket. Once I got it, I couldn't even hop over the first pond.
Oh, dude, it's killer.
and then I realized, oh wait, there was a button I got to run with, but you have to still be like pixel perfect
Yeah.
to
Zeke had
get by.
you had some kind of like game where you would like shoot these giant bugs. Right, like there would be those like long bug things. It had like an orange bug on the front, kind of like a millipede.
Oh, you mean like the
So I don't remember the name of it. Like I just remember you had that one at some point. Because like Game Boy Color games,
it was like Samus. I had Samus.
did
Metroid? Yeah, the original Metroid?
Yeah, we had the original one.
Well, no, that was for the Advance. That was the
that the
Metroid
Advance?
Fusion. Yeah.
Or
Yeah, 'cause
Game Boy
you had it.
Advance.
Yeah, you had it for
it was
the Game Boy
Metroid
Advance.
Fusion.
Yeah, that's right. It was
Let's see.
advanced one.
Actually, so I think the original Metroid was on the NES, but I think they made a Game Boy version later, or maybe that was Metroid 2.
Yo, you want to play a ragey game? Try getting the Phantom Menace for the Game Boy Advance, dude. Star Wars Phantom Menace, giant freaking pain.
I would have loved to hear like a Game Boy chiptune of Duel of Fates.
I don't know what the soundtrack was like. I don't remember that, but I just remember like you could block blaster bolts and stuff. Like you could do that. So it was like a 2D platformer, like side scroller, but then there was like some 3D aspects to it. They were kind of
Really?
the kind of complicated things, but it was pretty fun. But super rage quitty, like it was bad. I think
that's another late game night game we could
oh,
play.
for sure, that was such a pain. But with that one, you had cheat codes, and I think it was like what 2000. It was like 2001 when I got a cheat code book.
Hang tight, little bro. It won't make you wait much.
And that was pretty cool. That was before cheat code websites.
Oh man, I remember back when I had my action replay. I think I still have it, and I still have like a regular DS to use it with. I remember like I would spend like hours on the internet just like gathering and compiling cheat codes from the internet.
Yep.
Like on Super Mario 64 DS, there was a cheat code where if you just keep holding the jump button, like Mario will just keep going up until you let go of the button.
And
if you just like let go and then hit the ground, I think it could essentially be
like an insta kill.
Yeah, because you're falling from that high.
That's cool. Just oof out of existence.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Ooh, here's a joke. Mario walks into a bar. Oof!
I like it. That's a good one.
Boy. That's why you're wolfing down Tanner's and not Dad's.
Why?
I already ate most of it.
Yeah, he already ate most of that one. Well, I was wondering if that was your spicy popcorn. If that was your
That was Dad's.
special
Dad's.
popcorn.
Sonic. Just catch
No, but I think as far as like early games go, I think the Pokemon games, like I figured out how to play those before I figured out how to play the
Tetris?
No, before I figured out how to play Link's Awakening Deluxe.
Oh, okay.
I still remember. Zeke and I don't know if you remember this.
Those sure are words you said just now.
We were down in Cedar City, visiting with Mom's Aunt Afton, and Uncle Bob. So we were hanging out with them, but Mom and Dad were in the house, and you and I were in the motorhome in the driveway. I still remember I was in the passenger seat when I finally figured out how to get past that guy in the city that like teaches you how to catch Pokemon. Like the guy's like, "Oh, I can't move until I have my coffee," or whatever. Right? I remember doing that. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" And then, because like I still remember you were sitting at like the table in the motorhome, just like doing the same thing. I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, watch this. But then I remember because you were going on a scout camp. I was your first Klondike Derby. I couldn't go because I was too young. So Mom let me use my Game Boy. And so I was still I remember because Dad was still driving that pickup truck, the white one, with the 3 seats. Right, that was before he got his diesel.
Ah, the old 92.
Yep, the old 92. So I remember I was sitting in the middle seat there, and you guys were loading your stuff in the trailer and everything, getting ready to go on the camp out. That's when in Link's Awakening Deluxe, remember when you go into the Lost Woods and there's that raccoon guy that like mixes up everything?
Yeah.
So that's where I figured out that like, oh wait, you could put like magic powder on that guy and get to the first level. Like still, like I still remember those 2 times, like with those first games that I actually like figured it out. You know, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I turned a raccoon into Fat Man!
Well, that's the thing, because like for months, because like
Oh, there was the one time where the last dungeon, or second last dungeon, is like a boss. The entrance of it.
yeah. See, by the time, dude, it took me years to beat that game.
Oh yeah, that's like probably one of the most hardest Zelda games to beat.
Well, I think so. And dude, okay, so here's how. So like, I kept getting stuck.
Oh yeah, we did have the first generation of Zelda.
Well,
Like 2 or 3 of them, if I remember right.
yeah.
First generation being like
On Game Boy.
on Game Boy. So
So I never. No.
So, yeah,
we just
it
had
would
Link's
be- it would
Awakening
be-
Deluxe.
it would
No, we
be
had 2 of them.
The Zelda and Zelda 2.
Yeah.
okay.
Adventures
So
of Link.
oh,
I don't remember.
okay.
playing
So
the other two. I just remember
The Legend
playing
of Zelda.
Deluxe.
Yeah,
That's
we
on the
had-
NES.
Right.
Then The Legend of Zelda 2, Link's Adventure, or the Adventure of Link.
Yeah.
That one's also on NES. Then on SNES, there was Link to the Past.
That was cool on Game Boy. When that came out on Game Boy
That was the
Advance,
first time I
such-
played it on there.
That was such a good game. That was the first time I played it.
I
as
think
well.
that one difference I've noticed is that on the Game Boy Advance version, when Link would like fall into a pit, the scream is actually young Link from Ocarina of Time.
Oh, so I never noticed that.
And then if you played the original SNES game, like he doesn't have a voice. I mean, he grunts if he gets hurt,
oh,
but if he
I
falls
got-
into a pit, he's like, "Woo!"
oh yeah,
Just like a falling sound effect.
yeah. That one was sick. When that came out for the freaking Game Boy Advance, that was so freaking cool.
So I guess the Zelda Game Boy games would be Link's Awakening, as well as
Oracle of Ages and Decisions.
I haven't played either of those.
Dude, they're so good. Those are like some of my favorite Zelda games. Probably top 5 at least.
Do you still have the original cartridges?
Yeah.
Dude, I've got the Analog Pocket.
I'll bust them out. I've just got them in storage right now.
I was just here.
I've got my old Nintendo. I've got my old Game Boy. Got my Game Boy Advance. I don't have my Game Boy Advance SP because I traded that one in for my DS. So, and I figured I was like, well, I'm gonna be. But when the Game Boy Advance SP came out, that was so freaking nice, dude. Like that back screen was everything.
Yeah, with its own LED light.
Oh my gosh, and a rechargeable battery.
I know we've probably talked about this, folks, but yeah.
we have. It was, but okay. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. It was a big freaking deal. Okay, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you just have a rechargeable battery." No, it was a big deal. We used to line sheet and steel just to get AA batteries to power the Game Boys and the Game Boy Advances. Right, like it was that crazy, and they would suck batteries like crazy. Like in one night, if you put, like if you were playing Link's Awakening Deluxe or Pokemon or whatever, and you put brand new batteries in, 4 hours later, you're putting new batteries in because those ones went dead. They were that bad, right? So having a rechargeable battery in the Game Boy Advance SP and having it fold and play every game that you wanted to and have a backlight, yeah. That's a big freaking deal, ladies and gentlemen. That's what makes the biggest difference. Like, my goodness. That was so freaking cool. That and the, something that I didn't like about the original DS? Like, it was no Game Boy Color games.
With the original DS?
Yeah.
Well, you could play Game Boy Advance games on. Oh wait, are you talking
Game Boy
about classic
Color.
Game Boy games?
Game Boy
Right.
Color.
Classic. The color,
Right.
yeah.
So yeah, so okay, yeah. So if you had the Game Boy Advance, you could
Yeah.
play the older. Yeah, that rings a bell now because I
Yeah.
remember playing Pokemon Pinball on my Game Boy Advance way back when. I don't think I have it anymore.
Yeah. But I just, I loved having that backlight, dude. Because, like, I'm sure Zeke remembers, like, we had those, like, squiggly lights that went up on the side.
Oh wait, actually, where am I going?
And then we got
the ones that clamped on top.
Yeah, the
shine
ones
down.
from, like, Mad Catz. But that one had, like, a weird magnifying glass on there, so you really couldn't see very well.
Yeah, it was like this square piece of glass. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and you're trying to, like, see through to see your Game Boy, but it's not quite working. It's illuminated, but, anytime if you move, like, off of center, you've got, like, a weird distortion on the side of your screen.
It had like a really bad distortion.
Oh, yeah. And then they had a, quote, rechargeable battery that was absolute garbage.
It was probably really good at the time.
I don't think so.
Even then, it still wasn't that good.
I don't think so, dude. It was like 45 minutes, and you had to.
I mean, hey,
recharge
like
it.
if you look at Ocarina of Time, back when it came out, like 3D graphics for a Zelda game is like, whoa, this is amazing. It's like,
I'm very
and then,
true.
and then now, like you look at it now compared to say Breath of the Wild, it's like, oh, it's like it doesn't look that great, but it still got its charm.
Right. But still, so like that game didn't need fantastic. Oh dang! Oh, I was gonna say he just hit Sonic midair. Like
But yeah, this guy drops bombs.
now with Ocarina of Time though, it had the best. Okay, so change my mind. Best storyline in any Zelda game, hands down.
Like which Zelda game had the best story?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Majora's Mask.
Really?
Yeah, just because like especially with the people you help with via the Bomber's Notebook, and then the whole dark overtones across the entire game. It just feels melancholy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
You know?
But yo, dude.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Ocarina of Time is great,
But
I love Majora's Mask.
Oh yeah. I love Majora's Mask too. But I feel like Ocarina of Time, like I said, the story, just in the whole thing, like the dialogue, the story, the gameplay, like especially for when it came out.
I just destroyed him.
I'm a teeny little hedgehog, and
Well,
yet,
he's got rickety wrecked.
yeah.
But yeah, that's my. I absolutely.
I kind of would have laughed if that would have stayed up there and didn't come down.
My only beef with Majora's Mask is the Great Bay Temple.
I can see that. Yeah,
That's my beef. That's my beef. Do you know how long I was like? So we got that game.
Oh, do you remember the Great Bay Temple, Zeke?
Yeah, it's a gigantic pain in the butt. I was stuck in that temple for, no joke, like 5 years. Like, it wasn't until they came out on the GameCube, like, that collector's edition disc that had, like, all the Zelda games on it. It wasn't until that came out and I played Majora's Mask on that one that I actually beat the game.
You've only been the 3DS version of it at the time. Is what you're saying?
No, I beat it on the GameCube.
Or that one. Okay, sorry, I wasn't.
Yeah, I beat that one, but I did the I 100%ed the 3DS version though.
Yeah, that is definitely the one Zelda game I would beat 100%.
Oh yeah, we did it on this channel.
Yeah.
Or well, not.
By the way,
channel.
go
We
check it
definitely
out. Majora's Mask playthrough on this channel, Game Night.
did. I thought we did it on Late Game Night.
No, it was Game Night.
It was Game Night. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we one of our last sessions we did was that like, we could have just like gone straight to Majora's Mask or the Moon, and then just call it a night. But like, I wanted to play it in a way so that we try to help as many people as we can.
Right.
in the game.
We wanted 100%.
Well, okay. Well, no, I mean like we did 100%, but I mean like.
Help everybody fill out the Bomber's Notebook.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically, we've already, like, filled out the Bomber's Notebook before going up to the moon. But I mean, like, restart time, day one, help everyone out anyways.
Yeah, we did do that.
Just because, like...
That was a great playthrough, though.
Because, I don't know, it just felt kind of weird to, like,
Abandon the people of Termina.
Actually, I was going to say, like, you start a new cycle of time, and then you just, like...
Just sit there.
just stand there, wait around until, like, the door to the clock tower opens up.
Yeah.
But then, like I had the idea of, like, oh, you know what? I wanna try helping some folks out before I beat the game for good,
Yeah, that was but that was such a good playthrough, though. Like, just beating everything, doing it all. But, when you get the Fierce Deity... Like, so, here's the thing. I have never fought Majora's Mask without the Fierce Deity mask.
The final boss, you mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, I've always done it, but so like, I mean, maybe without the Fierce Deity, it would be different, but I always found that like with the Fierce Deity, final boss, easy peasy.
Yeah, I'd say that is a good reward for completing everything in the game, like, or at least like collecting all the masks, which involve with helping everyone.
See, I've got a like I haven't played it. I've heard some really bad reviews.
Of Majora's Mask?
Yeah, no, for the on the Switch, the Switch Online.
That's right.
Yeah, I've heard that it's not very good. Right, like not saying that it's not the remastered one for the 3DS, but it's just.
Is it like just because you're playing it online, the graphics look even worse? And
well, that's
there's the fact that you're playing it online, the input isn't always correct.
I think so. I haven't I've heard just some bad reviews like that it's not quite as good as it could be. So I haven't started playing it yet. I haven't played the Ocarina of Time on the Nintendo Switch Online yet either. Right? I haven't played many games there, but yo, dude, I think I told you I went on like a Pokemon puzzle kick, and like I beat the game.
Oh, that Tetris one, right?
Yeah, I went down.
Wait, was it Tetris or was it like Candy Crush?
Candy Crush, for sure. Because yeah, you're lining up like different colored blocks and different elements and kind of battling. Because every time you get those elements, like something like that falls on the other side.
Yeah.
So you're trying to build up the other side.
Whoop.
Yeah, that was. That's one I beat it within a few days, but like way more fun than I anticipated. Like I was pretty happy about that.
I don't have the N64 online service. You gotta let me play that game again. We should do that like one time for game night. Because I remember I would play that game a lot as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But I also remember.
Why didn't you get the Nintendo 64 online? Like, isn't it like $3 more per year or something like that?
I don't remember how much it cost. I think
like $5 maybe.
I don't know. I think
it's like 20.
I think it varies on what plan you get.
Yeah. So I got the family plan, so I have no idea because that way you can't.
I just remember like back at the time when it was first revealed.
Yeah, there wasn't enough on there.
Yeah, but slowly, not only the N64 library has grown. Nintendo also decided to make an online library of Sega games as well, and then they've also included alternate ways for you to get like DLC for modern Switch games, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, for example.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't want to buy the DLC, you could alternately get the expansion pass online,
right?
And then you would still get the DLC that way. So now it has more value,
right?
To it.
See, as soon as they announced the Pokemon Stadiums, GoldenEye, and I think that snowboarding game, as soon as they announced those, that's when I got it. Like, 'cause I was like, all right. Well, they announced Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask as well, kind of around the same time. But those are the only ones that are available right now. But I am crazy excited for Pokemon Stadiums.
I think you missed one.
What, the key?
Yeah. Did you miss a key? Yeah.
Oh, I did. Good eyes.
No, but those are the reasons why I got it. I mean, I think I'm okay with getting rid of like the old Nintendo library. Like I don't play those like ever. And here's my thing: as they start releasing more and more stuff for the Switch Online, like more and more things there, I think that I'm gonna get the newer consoles versus the older ones because the Nintendo 64 one is the one that I see the most value in, mainly because those stuff for the Super Nintendo, original Nintendo, like they're fun, but they're not mine, right? Like my generation of Nintendo 64 or Nintendo was Nintendo 64 and on, right? Like everything before that was kind of like, okay, well I played it maybe, like some fond memories, but it's not like the Nintendo 64 where it was like that was the staple, right? Like that was the mainstay of my like gaming experience. So that or Game Boys. I mean, heck, if they announce that they're doing Game Boy,
like a Game Boy online library,
yeah. Like, I'm in Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, because, like, when they were doing the virtual console stuff for the Wii U, 3DS, all that stuff, 100% on board for that. Like,
did you miss a couple of those on the island?
What, these little stars?
Little stars?
Oh, they're all over the place.
There's just no limit to them, really.
Until it's daytime. And then they go away. So basically, I could get more Cocos and or fishing tokens for big.
Yeah!
So what? Wait, was that 30
About
purple
30.
coins?
Yep.
Okay, because I think at one point I had done these a couple of times on my own playthrough. I was like maxed out on the fishing tokens.
That's cool.
And so I fished a bunch of times, which in turn I was able to buy a lot of stuff from Big, and also apparently all the Cocos he's holding hostage. I don't know why.
Big's like, these are my Cocos.
It's like, these are mine.
These are mine.
They're my friends.
Nice. No, but I would
go home.
I would 100% buy a virtual library for Game Boy, because like, and I honestly think that Nintendo's going to do that before they do anything with like the GameCube. If they're going virtual consoles or like remastering games for the Switch or having available online kind of thing for that subscription,
Another thing.
I think they're going to do that because of the Analog Pocket. Right? Like, there's a ton of companies that are coming out with those, but the Analog Pocket, in my, like, from what I've seen, is probably the best version of it.
The hell is that?
Just it's an angry bird.
Oh, wait, how do I... Oh, yeah, that's how I lock on. I gotta click the left stick. Or right stick. Boom.
It's gonna counter. I love a good counter.
Oh, you can fly.
Yeah, but I don't have good ground, so...
Crash it.
Alternately, I could, like, just ground stomp on it.
That's fun. No, but yeah, I think, like I said, when if they announce anything for like the Game Boy Advance, 3DS, the DS, any of those available, I'm 100% on there. Because, like, I mean, I pay the yearly subscription anyway, right? So why not, like, have those cool games? Because those are all my generation. Like, I could do without the other two. The Super Nintendo, the, what's it called? Just the original Nintendo. The
Sega.
NES?
Yeah, the NES.
Yeah,
and then
Nintendo
the
Entertainment System.
Yeah, the NES and the SNES.
The
Like
Super Nintendo
I
Entertainment
could do without each of those. Like, really, I mean,
like you don't care to have those consoles.
Right. But not because I don't like the games that are on there, but just because
you just didn't grow up with them.
Right. Now, if I was older and like I had one of those, and I had more of a relationship with it, yeah, heck yeah, I'd get those any day. But the in getting the Nintendo 64, like when they announced that, I was like, oh my gosh, maybe we're gonna get GameCube games. Like, if I can play Star Wars Rogue Leader on the freaking Switch, yeah, dude, that's my stuff right there. I mean, we've played Star Wars Rogue Leader on here, and like that's one of my favorite.
Oh, I got dizzy on that one.
Oh yeah, I know.
I think everyone got dizzy on that.
But yo, dude, I rocked that game though. Like, that was my game. I absolutely loved it. I remember like stopping in Walmart and like Toys R Us or whatever, just to play the demo version of that game. Like, as soon as they announced it, I was playing that and I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of the most fun games I've ever played. And I absolutely
the
love
Rogue
it.
Leader.
Rogue Leader, yep. On the GameCube, still hands down my favorite game for the GameCube, without fail. That includes Wind Waker. That includes Super Smash Bros. Melee. That includes
Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door.
that-
Which, by the way, that's another game we play on this channel. Go check
watch
it out.
those two. Shameless plug there.